it, but it's about Miles Morales, right? And there's this kid was in the comic book shop, and this dude was like, "Hey, who's your favorite superhero?" And the kid was like, "Oh, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Spider-Man." And then the guy was like, "Oh, you heard of Miles Morales?" And he gave it to him, and the kid opened it up and was like, "Oh man!" And he ran to his mom. He's like, "Oh, there's a Spider-Man that looks just like me in here." And I was like, "And it's like that's pretty cool, you know? It's like relatable. It's really relatable, and like it's really inclusive." That's the other thing about the geek community. It's just so inclusive.
It is very much so, man. Yeah.
Like I've never found a place that I was accepted by, like no matter what. You know what I mean? Like I played football in high school. Those guys were they're all right, but you know,
I know.
But you gotta be a certain way, you know. You gotta carry yourself a certain way. But when I met my geek buddies, when I met RJ and some people like that, I just be myself, and I was like, man, this is cool.
Well, you go on the internet long enough, you'll find a lot of toxicity.
Well, yeah,
that's communities, man. So
yeah, Star Wars fans, man.
But I get what you're saying, because like when you meet people, and like even me, like back in the day, and like I wasn't dressing the way I was dressing. Like back then, I was really into hip hop. I was a huge hip hop head.
Yeah,
and so I would dress a little differently than normal geeks, you know, quote unquote normal geeks. Yeah. So when I would pass by, kind of a little scared them a little, and you know, I don't know what it was about by my demeanor or the way I looked, but I would just go up to them and be like, "Man, I love your art, man. Is that from Inuyasha? Oh man, that's a great Kagome." You know, and I would just like name drop, and they'd be like, "What the hell?" Like, I got the damn
who's this
Nike Cortez on with the rubber bands on the jeans, and so it's a little different because they didn't, I don't know, to be honest or to be blunt, like they didn't see black people, watching anime or
even in anime,
or into anime,
even like black characters in anime, you know.
Yeah, there was no black characters in anime, but still, like I mean,
Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball.
No.
We denounce
Mr.
that.
Yeah, that is not. Don't even.
The black community does not.
We do not include. Yeah,
no type of blackface.
That was just straight blackface. That was literally like someone got a Sharpie.
It is.
Dude,
all black Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z characters.
Right.
Dismissed.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I think they did it with like zero malice. They were like, let's include a black character or whatever. Yeah,
and it's weird. I don't know what the culture is in Japan. You would know, Trent, but
I think that explains it right there.
But honestly, like, maybe they're looking over here, and back then, they see these characters that are drawn, and they're like, oh, this is much, this must be what it, how to represent these people.
And you have to think about too, like what was on TV, how were exactly, black people portrayed on TV and in movies back then. It was very monochromatic, no pun intended. It was very, this is what you are. You're either, and then a great example of this too, talking about Street Fighter. If you look at, I can't remember which one it was. Street Fighter, it might have been Street Fighter 3 or whatever. When they had like some other characters, they had I can't remember his name right now, but they had a couple black characters, right? One was in America, Balrog, right?
Oh,
this big Mike Tyson thug looking dude, and the other one was
DJ.
It was a DJ, the Jamaican character. Big, happy, smiley, grin on his face. And it was like, this is what...
This is what you think.
Yeah, this is
what you think black people are.
But they did get, what's his name? Is it Sean? Is that his name?
Was that one in Alpha or...
Yeah, the...
or not Alpha, but...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Or Third Strike.
Okay,
Third
maybe,
Strike.
okay.
Yeah, and I guess it was Ken's student. Right?
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't played that.
But even then, he used like a basketball as part of his.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So.
But he was like, I don't know. He was kind of like the closest thing to like to being relatable. So like I could grab onto this character.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That one's
like,
not. Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't see like a legit character portrayed until I don't know if you've seen the movie Sin. Mm-mm. It's an anime movie. Yeah, it's all right, but like it was a black character, and proportions are, facial proportions were fine, not exaggerated.
Right.
Very like, oh man, this is a cool character you can get into, Mm-hmm. And, that movie was a bad movie, but I never forgot it. That's the thing about it is I never forgot it because it was I'm gonna say late 90s, and around that time, I didn't see any black characters, you know, especially main characters in anime.
Yeah.
Nah,
no way. Yeah.
And it wasn't until Black Lagoon I started seeing like there was like different races.
Oh man, that's like that's modern. That's semi recent, you know.
That's about like 10 years or so. 10 years ago, and they had like Revy, who was Chinese. The main character
Rock, who was Japanese,
and they had their mentors who were black, Jewish. You know, and then I grabbed them just because of that. I grabbed the manga and I was hooked because of the story. You know, so but
but it's interesting too, though. Like, I mean, if you think about it. In Japan, I mean, especially compared to America, like there is in most parts of America, there is a pretty solid amount of diversity.
Oh yeah.
In Japan, I mean, how much? And this isn't anything, you know, positive or negative. Just how much diversity is in Japan. You know, like whenever I watch like the original, like you know, like the Power Rangers or whatever. Whenever you see those shows, like, you know, they're edited and they're changed around over here in America. But when you watch the original and you see like the people running away in panic, it clicked on me. Like I'm looking at everybody running away, and there's just a lot of like people with, you know, straight black hair. You know what I mean? I just noticed like, oh, there's not like, I don't see a blonde or a brunette or a brown hair, redhead, nothing like that. It's, you know, there's not a lot of diversity. So I don't think there's, unless I hope there's not any sort of malice or anything behind it. It's just, this is, you know, they're not exposed to a lot of different cultures.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's for sure a part of it, because like every other country is that ethnicity. You know, like Japanese or in Japan. You know, Chinese. You know, so if they're making the show, wouldn't they make something that's representative of what their culture is more like? And then if they make something that they think is representative of our culture, it ends up being a little off maybe because they're not exposed to it. Yeah. But then, which doesn't excuse like American culture either, though, because like, you know, why there's so many shows, coming up in the 70s and or the 60s and 70s are all male, white dominated, you know, and
they're exposed to that culture, and then they just choose to ignore it.
Right.
So what's their excuse exactly?
Yeah. So who's worse, right? Yeah. Man, how did we get onto this topic?
Yeah.
It's good though.
Yeah, no holding back.
Yeah, no definitely talk about like I definitely always want to talk about like the cultural impact of geek culture, you know, and this is all a part of it, man, and it's good stuff.